Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome back to the Dugout Football Channel for the Liverpool versus Sevilla match preview. And yeah, we will speak about everything else to do with LFC, especially obviously the Zubimendi news. Will he or won't he? Well, we shall wait and see. But I'm delighted to be joined by a very special guest. It's Mr. Kevin Murphy, other known as Spider LFC. How are you,
How's
Kev?
you going, Doug? Yeah, I'm good, dude. You? Keep it a long
Yes.
time no see. I mean, on the
Long
channel in a
time
while.
no see. Long time no
Yeah.
see.
You've been busy being a daddy a lot of the time, though, haven't you?
Yes, I have been. I have been very, very busy being a daddy. Very, very busy. But no, I'm very, very well.
Before we came on air, I was just explaining to Doug how much of a bundle of joy they are until you want to kick them across a room. They're brilliant.
yeah. I've got that to come. I've got that to come.
Wait till they hit two, dude. Yeah, that's it.
I have got that to come. But yeah, tonight's show we've got a bumper pack show. We'll be speaking about obviously all the outgoings. Billy Kimetio, Lewis Kumas, they're all going. We'll also talk about obviously the injury to Jaden Danns, which is obviously cut short a loan deal to Plymouth, I believe, which is not good news. Yes, I know there is football going on. I know Blackburn are playing Derby, and I know Preston are playing Sheffield United. If anyone could keep me updated, then that's absolutely fine. Oh, and Spain won the Olympic gold for the men's, so that's them one.
Okay.
Crikey, that's them one. The Nations League, the Euros, both the men and the women, and then they won Olympic gold. Amazing, absolutely amazing. But yeah, I suppose we'll speak about the major news at the moment, which is Martin Zubimendi. Will he or won't he? Kev, what do you make of all this Zubimendi news? I'll be honest, when the news that we were in for like an actual number 6 came in, he was definitely not the name I thought. I thought it might have been someone like Morten Hjulmand at Sporting or that Varela at Porto. What were your thoughts when it came out as Zubimendi?
Zubimendi was one of the top of my list, to be honest with you. I actually thought he'd be a type of player that Liverpool would go for more than the rest. Which is hard to explain, considering that it's just because he was at Real Sociedad, and I thought other ones were just kind of like another stopgap with Taro Endu kind of level player with a couple of them, and I when it comes to Zubimendi, like I loved him when I came on, when he came on in the World Cup against England in the final, or the World Cup Euros in the final. I was sitting there kind of going, I like this player Zubimendi, and he said the only reason that he's not the starter on this team is because of Rodri. That was the only, like, it's always a thought that's been kind of in my head in recent seasons. I liked how he played against English teams in the last couple of years, notably United. He had great games against them, regardless of the level of the team that he's in, and that's the difference maker there. He's just a top quality level player, along with probably 2 or 3 others within that squad that have now probably just started to move on. In like Normand and Marino is going to Arsenal, isn't he? And that, so there's a couple of players in there, and he's going to be the last of a good bunch inside there, really. And it came out of left field for most. It was a want that I wanted out of most. Like I wanted Palacios first from Leverkusen. I thought he was outstanding. I think he's outstanding. And then I was looking along the lines, maybe Ederson and Zubimendi and that level, and then everybody else after that, your Højlund, these guys. But that was a choice by me for what I wanted. But did I think Liverpool were going to go for him? No, not really. I didn't think. I thought, they'd probably go for the ilk where they try to bring in somebody of 30-odd million, maybe potential kind of thing, maybe go back in for Kone, which is unlikely with his injury record, but it wouldn't put it past the club to kind of make that kind of, because we if anything, we love players in our team that are injury prone. So for some reason, look, it's fantastic news for me if we get him across the line. Good player, good all-rounder, more of a box-to-box pivot guy than an out-and-out DM, but he can do the DM work really, really well. I think he'll complement just being slightly behind McAllister, and I think Trent Alexander-Arnold can help him alongside him on the right if he tucks in that inverted role. Because remember rightly, Slot also plays with an inverted fullback in Feyenoord in Geert Ruida. And, so he likes to keep his left back more left backish and kind of tuck up to help on the left-hand side. But he likes one of his wingers to tuck in per game. So if one tucks in, the other one goes out. If one tucks in, the other one goes out. So I think it'll suit Trent to a T to do that. And you might even see more inversion from Robbo this coming season. If Trent bombs up the wing, Robbo's going to have to tuck inside right next to... But look, it'll only help Zubimendi tenfold because he won't be doing all the work himself, and that's the difference maker. With Endo was left alone a lot last season because in the middle of that park, you notice the gap between him and his other midfielders like Harvey Elliott, or if Jones was there, or I know McAllister would always come back if he was in that role, but when he's not there, he's doing a lot of work going forward. He's tired to try and get back, and he gets back a bit late, so unless he's playing in the 6th role. So Wataru Endo was left on his own because the gap between him and the defence was a lot, and the gap between him and his other midfielders were a lot. So he was isolated a lot last season. I think you're not going to see that under Slot. And we're seeing elements of that so far this season, especially in set pieces, especially in balls into the box in general are getting cleared out a lot quicker. Corners look less dangerous now to us. It's looking good so far, and Zubimendi was high on my list anyway of choices.
Yeah, look, I think it's obviously we know obviously about his time and the Euros. He comes on for Rodri, and I think many people, including myself, are like, "Oh no, Rodri's coming off. This is where England go on and win."
Yeah, I want to see the dude coming on because I thought Rodri looked tired.
Yeah, I did as well. And it goes to show that I don't think he's in the City squad actually to play United this weekend, which is not surprising. Not surprising in the slightest. He's played way too much football, and I think he's probably close to an injury as Rodri. So I think the fact that Zubimendi comes in, that was very, very good. But yeah, look, I think it'd be a fantastic signing. I think he is a really, really good player. It's quite interesting as well that he's a Basque-born boy and bred as well. So I think if we're looking at that aspect of things, it might be a bit difficult to get him out. But obviously, the reports you read, it is sounding like he is wanting to leave. It is sounding like he is wanting to leave. And by the way, if anyone doesn't know, Union Berlin played Real Sociedad in a friendly tonight and actually beat Real Sociedad by a 0-0. Robin Gosens getting the only goal. So yes, don't make anything of that. I don't even know if Zubimendi got on the pitch. I don't know if that has happened or not. So we'll obviously need to find out and wait and see. But if anything else breaks, we will let you guys know as well. But let's say hello to a few people because I have kind of alienated the chat a little bit. So apologies.
That's my fault. Hello. I talk a lot, sorry.
Hello, Ryan. Hope you're well. A big season ahead for Huddersfield Town. Hopefully, you guys get back to the Championship for the first time of asking. So yeah, hope you're well, and thank you for tuning in. Good evening, Nige. Hope you're well. A High Terrier TV. Yes, Huddersfield don't call the Terriers, of course. Saying hi to Nigel. Good evening, boys. Good evening. Yang talking smack. Hello, mate. Hope you're well. Big up, Douglas. Come on, Sevilla. I trust you to say that. I could even say like, come on, City for tomorrow, or I could basically go on and say, come on, Air United. I'm not going to do that because I'm not that mean. Hi, Balam. Hope you're well. Balam says he's surprised Liverpool are playing Sevilla after the Yasser Larouci injury incident. I'm trying to remember. If he was injured against Sevilla.
Which one? Wait. There was a video of that I was only watching the other day, I think. There was something big. What was that? Yeah.
That would have been... Oh, crikey. That would have been 2018-19,
yeah.
I think. I think that's ringing the bell. I think that is ringing the bell. Balam's asking, am I going to watch... Yeah. Balam's asking, am I going to watch Las Palmas? Actually, Balam, I'm actually going to be there on Sunday. Travelling down very early on a Sunday morning, at 5:30 to be precise, to get to Liverpool for about 10 a.m. So yeah, I'm actually at the Sevilla game, so I'm looking forward to it. Very much looking forward to get back into Anfield. First match in a long time. I don't. I couldn't actually tell you the last game I was at, to be honest. So it's been a long time. So I'm really looking forward to that. So yes, we'll get to the Billy Koumetio news very soon. Evening, Nate. The Nacho Man thumbnail brought me here. It's their latest signing, Kelechi Iheanacho. It's the latest signing. So, yes, he will be probably with the Sevilla squad as well. Hopefully, Balam, hopefully, Zubimendi is happening. But we'll obviously keep you updated. Hello, lads. Did you see this panel? Matteo said that Zubimendi looks closer to leaving than staying. Yes, I did say that. Also, we get this goalkeeper we have already made replacement for the next few years in case Allison leaves. Yes, we'll get to that as well. That's quite interesting. The Marmadashvili news as well. Geordie's in. Hello, Geordie. Hope you're well. I did see Newcastle are playing Girona at the moment. They were 1-0 up the last time I checked. Longstaff got the goal. So I don't know if you're watching that, but big up to you. Hope you're well. Hello, Pete Shepherd. Hello, hope you're well. No, he's not in the squad tomorrow. I did have a feeling he wouldn't be in the squad. I know that Foden's not in the squad. Diaz is
3-0, look.
3-0. Wow. There you go then. There you go. Goal for Sheffield United. It was 1-1, not 1-0. He came on at 63 minutes. Oh, it was 1-1, Nigel, was it? It was 1-1. I saw it was 1-0, so I didn't actually see Sociedad scoring. He came out of 63 minutes. No worries. No worries at all. But yeah, Zubimendi. There was some interesting news, actually, just before I did come on. Is the news that Bacicic could be going out on loan this season. What do you make of that, Kev?
Get him to Sociedad. Shut them up.
Yeah.
Stop pulling the heartstrings of Zubimendi. Let the dude have a career. Because he's not going to get it at Sociedad. That's the only thing I can say. I mean, if you for a club that's people are going to, and opposition fans are going to make a same comparison to Gerrard but you can't compare Gerrard to Zubimendi. Gerrard's at Liverpool, who's battling for the at that time who was battling for 2 Champions Leagues in 3 years, battling for a title within a couple of points. Winning the FA Cup finals. The Real Sociedad aren't winning things. They're not battling for the title every season. They're not in the Champions League. They're not doing. It's a different kettle of fish. It's either you want to compete at the highest level as a player, or you want to just compete to the limits of your boyhood dream. And if your boyhood dream was playing for Real Sociedad, that's great. If that's your peak, I mean, I'm not saying that the guy is 21 years of age and he could probably stay there at Real Sociedad another couple of years and then move on. He's 25. Now he's moving his peak. If he decides to sign a new contract or whatever, they're going to tie him down for life, and he will never have gotten to no, he's done it at the Euros. The minute that he's got to think to himself, the minute that starts to wear off in the next few seasons, if Spain drop down and he's not winning things, he's not doing anything, it could be the biggest mistake of his life not signing for Liverpool right now. He wants to go. That's the whole point, I think, with all of these journalists. He wants to go to Liverpool. He's just worried about upsetting the apple cart or upsetting the home-based fans, upsetting the people that he considers, the people that he loves as a fan base, all of that kind of stuff. It's not people are going to make it out to be homesick or this. I don't think it is that. I think it's mainly because he loves Real Sociedad so much as a club. But look, he's got to talk to Xabi Alonso again, and he's probably already convinced him. Just say, look, they're not going to hate you for this. If you come back as a Champions League winner or a legend at Liverpool and then finish off your career at Sociedad, they'll welcome you back with open arms. Robbie Fowler left Liverpool and he went to the city of Leeds and all of that, and came back and we welcome him back because sometimes situations make you leave a club not because you have a dislike for the club. It's just because hierarchy people are there or things change or a huge club comes in. I mean, there's nobody bigger than Liverpool for Liverpool fans, but we're certainly bigger than Real Sociedad, so
no, it's you're absolutely right. And I think he is at the peak of his powers now. He is 25. Maybe he wants a new challenge. He's been at his boyhood club ever since he's been a footballer. So I think he's a very, very good player. Very, very good player. And I think anyone who would obviously want him is, going to. I know Arsenal, Manchester United. I know there's been reports saying that And I know that obviously Man United and Arsenal, they've been kind of turned down by Zubimendi. So look, if we get him, then it's an absolute coup, and I think it's one of the signs of the summer.
Yeah, I
Because
think it's a special project that interests him, Doug. Because a special club that interests him. I'm not saying like big clubs, right? It has to be a special club. He's paying attention. He's listening on, because he must be listening on to see the state that Manchester United have been in the last 10 years, regardless of the stature. The things that are going on at Arsenal at the moment. They're bringing, he's going to be. You're talking about like coming in. Who's going to come in for Thomas Partey? Mourinho's going there at the moment. So that's the only reason we went after Mourinho, is that they couldn't get Zubimendi, which suits him better. He turned down Bayern Munich because he just doesn't see him as at their peak game at the moment. And does it appeal to him to go to that kind of club, which is more of a machine rather than a family? To the fans, no, don't get me wrong, I go to Munich a lot. It's a huge club for them, it really is, but it is rotating more like superstar after superstar going there and not really, doing anything with it. The odd Champions League every 7 or 8 years, but Liverpool, they're battling every season. The stadium alone at Anfield is just a special place to be, and it's just the thing is, it's a club that's loved by other opposition clubs, regardless of how much they say they hate them. It's just, we appeal to everybody. We're huge.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've got to say as well, it's a very, very nice region of Sociedad is a very, very nice region of the Basque area. And
but does it have a lobster pot? Come on, Doug.
I know, but no, like he does have a big decision to make, but I honestly think he is going to move. So yeah, fingers crossed. We will keep you updated if anything does break as well. But I think it's going to be a weekend thing. Maybe happen during the Sevilla game. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, Pete Shepherd says, "I love that a Scotsman and an Irishman are talking Liverpool, and as an American, I understand you both better than I could a Scouser." You're welcome, Pete. You're welcome.
Say that to a Scouser's face.
Actually, other news as well. Dominic Solanke is going to Spurs, Kev. Liverpool are about to get 20% of that transfer fee. Now, when I was looking at this earlier,
I know all the stats to this if you want me to.
Feel free, because we are getting a bit of a lengthy budget of that chunk, I think, aren't we?
Yeah, it is. So if the minus taxes, minus the fees and stuff, so Liverpool only get 20% of over 19 million. So let's say if Bournemouth sold them to Spurs for 22 million, we'd only get 20% of that 3 million that's extra on top of it. So but which means that we have to force them to almost double the price to get our percentage that we want to sell. So the sell-on clause also has a clause in it where they have to sell on and for a higher amount. We sold them for 35 million to them. We did need to nearly double that money to make the money back. So Liverpool would have to make them, their money invested in them back, because that's what the 20% is really counting at. So because we invested in Chelsea, so Liverpool are always in the black from the time they spent the money into Chelsea, or from the time they sold the money to him. They have to go elsewhere. So basically, it comes out to what looks like it should, on paper, it would look like about 13 or 14 million that way, but it kind of comes down to about 7.6 million until the triggers are triggered. The clauses are triggered extra on top of it. So we'll get about let's say about £8 million out of the deal.
Yeah.
Really.
It's a nice wee chunk of money.
That's Andy Robertson money right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Andy Robertson money. It could get you Andy Robertson plus Kevin Stewart. We all know that. Also, sometimes situations make you leave for a club. Wolf Zaha, for example, went to win trophy in Turkey, now returning. Yes, Wolf Zaha has gone back to Palace, which is stunning.
Oh, is he?
Stunning. Yeah. Yep. A loan deal apparently worth about £8 million, I think. I think it's a loan deal with an obligation to buy. I think Galatasaray won like £9 million to get him away. Apparently, he is not a fan's favourite. A lot of fans actually said that he, bit of a lazy attitude. But But anyway, moving on. Hello, Owen. Hello, Cup On Podcast. Go check it out. Very, very good podcast does Owen. And yes, if you like poems, then Owen will read you a poem. It's like reading a bedtime story. Even though Zubi would be good sign, but he's not world class according to the stats. Yeah.
It's more of an eye candy thing, and well, not really an eye candy thing. It's just I think just playing in Sociedad is a different. You'd have to use both visual and stats for this one, just for this kind of deal. And you have to see what he does in Spain, in the Spanish team as well. Which we know that the potential is there and the talent is there. And if we can spend that kind of million, just get that £52 million, whatever it is, across the line, I think it's a good investment in the long run. I think he'll have fantastic once he gets to Liverpool and he gets to a team like Liverpool. I think you're going to see those stats just rocket up. So that's that.
Yeah, absolutely. Trust me, Kev. I'm a rather large individual. But I'm 6'5". So yeah. Standing next to you, Pete, would be a giant. Let's just say that. But yeah, hope you're well, mate. Hope you're well. Michael Adverts as well for Liverpool there. Yes. We'll talk about some outgoings because there have been a couple today. Lewis Kumas has joined Stoke City on a season loan. He's also signed a new contract as well with Liverpool. One of the rising stars to come out of the academy last season. And yes, he's going to be managed by a Scouser in Steven Schumacher. Good move for him, Kev?
Yeah, his cousin Michael won a lot of titles, didn't he, in Formula 1? I'm only joking. But no, look, Lewis Kumas. Look, he comes from football, football family right there, I think his dad played for Coventry, didn't he, if I remember rightly, Man City as well. And,
Coventry, West Brom.
There was a few of them there. I always remember him at Coventry.
Few of them, but I know him vaguely from West Brom because he was at the club when West Brom came into the 2000 and this is going back memories, 2002-2003 season, because that was the first season I actually remember very, very well of watching, because I actually watched every single game. I do remember Jason Kumas. I do remember him. So I think it's a move. I think it's a really, really good move, and obviously getting managed by a Scouser as well is even better. But for me, Lewis Kumas last season, he was a very, very good rising star to come out of the academy. Obviously scored in that Southampton win, didn't we? Obviously, so Jayden Dans and Lewis Kumas scored in that match. So no, good luck to him. I'll be obviously keeping an eye out on Stokes results this season, and hopefully he does well. So very, very good. Billy Koumetio is another one. He has left on a permanent to join Dundee. Now this one, did you see much of Koumetio in the academy, Kev? Because whenever I watched him, he did give me a bit of butterflies at times. It did give me a bit of butterflies at times.
Yeah, look, there's some great talent in the academy. It's whether they can step up and do it in the big time or not. Look at Musalowski. We all thought I thought he was going to be the next biggest thing in the academy. He was dancing around teams for fun.
Yep.
And just never took that next step. He just never got the weight on him. When he did come into preseason and stuff, he was doing the leg stuff and the whole lot, but more experienced players were just kind of like just shrugging him off. And this is the point I was going to make there about the likes of, Kumas and Koumetio and all these kind of guys. And what happens in the past, like Ben Woodburn never really got that muscle into him. He never really built himself, never got bigger. It's the same with the lad that went to Fulham. He bloomed a bit late. What was his name? Harvey. Is it Harvey? The lad playing at Fulham right now, ex-Liverpool academy player. Scored against us last year as well, did he?
Yes, he did.
Out of my head. Yeah, so
Wilson.
These. No, it's coming to my. Somebody's going to say it in chat to me now, and I'm going to forget, and it'll pop into my head. Harry
Wilson.
Wilson. That's it. Is that what you said? Wilson, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I had Harry in my head for some reason. Anyway, so these guys, they were still kind of like of a smaller stature when they were reaching their peak. It's good in Liverpool to kind of develop. Look at the difference between Conor Bradley from coming in last season and now. He looks bigger and tougher and stronger now, even in pre-season, than what he did last season. He was still doing well last season, but he was more of a slight. He was more of a slight of a fella compared to what he was. So he's developed on. The difference in Trent when he first came in, skinny little whippet kind of guy, and now look at him, he's bulked up, he's gone on, but now he's added a few seasons, but quickly enough they bulk up. Jaden Dans has already got kind of half the figure there. Kwanzaa's got the figure, they've bulked up a bit. So it's not all about, I don't mean muscles, whatever. I'm talking about just, match fitness, match strength, match fatigue, match everything. The importance of match fitness, lads, is huge in comparison to just training. Training hard is good, but match fitness in the competitive nature, your adrenaline ups, your heart rate ups, everything ups because you want to win. It's competitive. It's in a different atmosphere. It feeds your muscles differently. It feeds your brain. It feeds your endorphins differently. Everything changes, dude. And they need these kind of game times. Look at Harvey Elliott, went to Blackburn, had a great season, came back. I think Harvey Elliott's in before Szoboszlai in the team for me as well. So at this stage, Szoboszlai's a great player. So and that's the difference. It's the match fitness, the match. I mean, Jones has improved immensely in the last few seasons. He no longer just overruns with the ball. He's annoying me a little bit that he's going back a bit too much like Henderson used to these days. No, it's like he's more worried about these 100% stats that he's getting and 90% stats of passing that he's getting, which are constantly now going back rather than being his creative best self. I'd like to see Jones now using the match fitness level that he's at, the experience level that he's at with his bravado from before. Now he can use that and he can go ahead and do it. Just don't overdo it and release the ball sooner. That's all. These guys, Kumas is going to benefit from it. Jaden Dans would have benefited from it if he didn't get that injury now. But look, he's got plenty of time in his career to carry on. These are growing pain injuries. These are not lifelong threatening injuries. Look at Ramsey for is it Ramsey? The young fella, the Scottish young fella. That's is it Ramsey? Yeah, that's
Ramsey and Chambers are both at Wigan now on loan. You got Ramsey bombing one wing and Chambers doing the other wing. So look,
that could be the future of Liverpool there, Yeah, it's the same.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I know that Owen Beck's been linked with Celtic. I think there will definitely be more outgoings. I think before the end of the window. I think Harvey Blair might be another one that might be going out on the loan. Obviously, Stefan Bajcetic as well. So there is a lot of there is a lot of transfer activity that I think is definitely going to happen. Obviously, ends and hopefully ends and outs as well. But
I have an idea about the outgoings for us with Sociedad. Probably what most people have talked about anyway, but I don't see why we don't sell Bajcetic there as a make-weight, just to kind of say this Sociedad, look, back off, stop convincing Zubimendi to stay. We'll take him. You can have Bajcetic on loan for a season, and we'll throw in Wataru Endo as well at the same time. That allows Tyler Martin to be elevated up into the side as a backup, get more game time, play all the cup games, and be a backup to Zubimendi. Worst case scenario, we end up with because we're going to play a double pivot anyway. And so, rather than just an out-and-out six, worst case scenario, Szoboszlai and McAllister play there from time to time. Still nothing wrong with that. I'd rather just be able to cover, So if let's say Zuba gets an injury or something and Tyler's injured, that's the worst case scenario. And for me, that's not a bad case scenario to be in. If it's not all throughout the season and they're just left there with nobody else to back them up. If they were covering for 2 or 3 games while somebody was getting over a knock, grand. There's no problem with that. So I would I now is the time to start giving Tyler's after really growing in the last couple of seasons, playing in the championship and Hull and toughen up. I think he deserves a shot now to be the understudy to if Zubimendi comes in him and be brought on, getting them last 20 minutes. Give McAllister a rest, bring him on next to Zubimendi, see out games. Give Zubimendi a rest, bring him on next to McAllister to see out games. Leave Trent tuck in and help him out in the inverted role. There's so much options there if we do the right thing, but I think that we could easily make way. I think Sociedad would be a great club for Endo to go to, and I think it'll always be a great club for Bajcetic to go and rebuild his fitness back to match fitness.
Yeah, definitely. I like the fact that Endo is saying he wants to fight for his place. I think it's great, but it has been highly documented that Slot doesn't really fancy him. So it's going to be very, very intriguing, and obviously there is one more person we will speak about towards the back end as well. Hi, Carl. Hope you're well. Thank you for tuning in. Good move for Kumas. Yes, Tranmere. Tranmere said Nigel. That is absolutely right. Come on, chat. 80 watching, only 7 likes. Hit the like button for the algorithm. Thank you, Pete. Thank you very much. Yes, please do hit that like button. Doesn't take a minute. And as Pete says, it does help the algorithm as well. Sorry to say, it used to give me nightmares. Billy K says Nige. Copeland says Harry Wilson. Neil Miller as well. Side to side Jones. No more Adrian San Miguel says Ballum. Yeah, so there is a lot of good. Let me just get that comment off. As well. Yeah, actually, the last person I did want to speak about is Fabio Carvalho, because we will speak about obviously the US tour, because it was a very, very big success for me. I think you've got to say that the US tour was really, really successful. Obviously, 3 wins out there. I've got to say, obviously, against Betis, Arsenal, and Manchester United, and I think in all 3 games, I think, look, we look really, really good going forward. I think that's the safest thing to say. Defensively, I think we're a little bit suspect, but as again, it is pre-season. Get your mistakes out of the way. But one person who really, really did impress on. Well, actually, a couple of players that really, really did impress, but one in particular that could be potentially another outgoing is Fabio Carvalho. Now, I don't know if I've obviously seen you and Jack's shows, Kev, but you've been very, very vocal in Carvalho, and you think that he doesn't have a place in this Liverpool team.
Oh no, I didn't say he doesn't have a place. I think it's going to be tough for him to get in to the Liverpool side if we're going to be, especially with a Dutch manager, and you've got Gravenberch and Gakpo there. Like, whatever about Gravenberch, Gravenberch played really well against Manchester United, like really, really well against Manchester United, and that went under praised. Because I said for the first 6 minutes, I said the only 2 people that have kind of not gotten into the game yet against United were the 2 new guys to come back into the squad, which was Kanate didn't kind of get up to speed because it was his first game back after the Euros. And I said Gravenberch, and then within 5 or 6 minutes, Gravenberch took over that midfield, to be honest with you. And I thought he was phenomenal. I thought he ran back well, won the ball back well. I think he could easily play in a pivot scenario. Not being out number 6, but he could play in a pivot scenario, no problem, and help out whoever is there in the middle of that park. And he's a good guy to have on the bench now to come on. And he's a good guy to start games against lower sides. So he'll be used a bit more. Like, when you think of it, regardless of our suspect defending in certain places, we still did really, really well defensively. We were clearing everything with our heads. Corners weren't a danger. Set pieces weren't a danger. Obviously, the through balls and all that were going to be if we didn't have an out-and-out 6 sitting there yet. But that was always going to be the issue. I think with the double pivot, though, it worked a bit and helped us out to not have as many chances conceded as we did last season or the season before that, which were awful. I think Carvalho was a shining light in it. If anything, he just added more value to his name, and there's a reason why these teams are coming in after him. We have to realise as well that none of those guys in that 4 were really the true starting guys in the team for Liverpool at all last season. Once he got a bit more game time he did last season. Is he our first starter? He should be going into this season, but last season he's not considered that. So none of the guys that we have there, besides Conor Bradley filling in for Trent, besides Tsimikas at times filling in for Robertson, and even at that, it was Joe Gomez that was filling in for Robertson more than Tsimikas last season. So the fact that they did so well in this new slot system is only just like, it's going to bode well for the guys that are the main guys in the team to be, if they can step up and do it. But look, they're going to require match fitness. Quansah looked great in that tackle against United when it was a sure goal.
I honestly thought that was an own goal. I was watching the highlights and I was like, this is going to be an own goal, because of the way he was like running towards his own goal. You would usually expect like the ball to either balloon past the goalkeeper or just basically slide it out for a corner. But what he did, he basically got back and he tackled and obviously went back.
It was the perfect interception. Because even if the guy tried to play back towards the penalty spot, his head still would have been able to block it. He was in the perfect position. even though it looked like he wasn't getting it because it looked like it was just going to be cut across the mount to score. And he got in between the two of them, and that was it. It was unbelievable from Kwanzaa. That for me, if he can keep doing that, also, like the dude, he's going to be world class in the next couple of years. I think it's going to be very hard to drop him from the team. At the moment, he starts over Kanate for me alongside Verge. I think if we can bring in a left-hand sided defender to back up, especially if Sepp Vandenberg wants to go, and if we can get a good near enough to 30 million for him, the way that Edwards and co have been able to do that by selling players with good potential recently. You can see how well he did at Mainz. You can see how well he's done before that. He wants to leave anyway, or else be given a start. Be given a start on the in the starting lineup, which he's not going to over Kanate or Kwanzaa. It's going to be very hard. And even at that, Joe Gomez will get the shout as well. So you might as well get the money for Sepp Vandenberg. If Carvalho, getting back to Carvalho, if Carvalho is not going to get a starting team in this lineup, you might as well get the 30 million from him and get that in as well. Or I don't want to see him going out on another loan and wasting the talent that's there in him. When we could do the same with him that we did with Solanke, which is get a 20% buy-on clause, make a good bit of money from 35 million, because he's worth that. If Solanke's worth 35 million, Carvalho is worth 35 million.
Yeah, 100%.
So
100%.
I would get that. I would get those bobs across the line and concentrate on the team that we have there. Back it up with maybe a Hincapi or we could go for a Bastoni. That'd be brilliant. And get these kind of guys in, because Bastoni can play left back as well as centre back, but they're all left-footed players, which we do need in that back line.
Yeah, 100%. Hello, everybody. I've just realised that we were at like 14 viewers. Now we're up to 101. It's always Reid, I think.
That's Jamie.
Jamie Phillips, yeah.
It's crack lad.
Hello, Gary. Hello, MK. Hello, Fozzie's World. Well, thank you, Mr. Jamie Phillips. I hope everyone who has came on here has hit the like button. I hope everyone who is here has hit that subscribe button, because thank you very much for joining me. I do appreciate it. It's very, very nice to have new people in here. Interesting to hear Darwin does this season. Yes, absolutely. Jamie Reid. Hello, Russell. Hope you're well. Hi, Russell. Subscribe and like all. Absolutely. Big up Douglas and Spider. Jamie Reid. Congratulations. Hello. Big up everyone. Hit that like button.
Who's this Jamie guy you're talking about, lads? Who's this Jamie guy you're talking about?
Who's this Jamie? Well, I think it must be this person. By the way, happy birthday, Jamie. I did see that it was your birthday the other day there. So hopefully you had a good day. It was your... Yes, of course. Yes.
I'm joking, though. Yeah, mine was on the 6th. I didn't know we were close to him in the birthdays. But it was, happy birthday as well, Jim.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, happy birthday, Ken, as well. Big up Fozzie. What? Douglas Spider. Would you take Dembele from Barcelona? No. Dembele's at PSG.
He's cooked.
He's awful. If you could say how frustrated the player he is to watch, then you get your answer.
Champions League semi-final. They could have finished us off a 4-0.
Could have finished us off,
and he couldn't. That's the mindset that he's in. He's lost the plot in front of goal, and sometimes he shows it, and sometimes he doesn't. Yeah,
absolutely. I don't want players to stay if they don't want to stay to fight. Yeah, absolutely. Carvalho's used to take spaces. Yes, he is. He is indeed. If he was to go, Kev, Leicester or Southampton, or someone.
I think he'd suit Leicester better than Southampton.
I think he would.
Yeah,
I think he would.
Well, it all depends on the formation that they make. He is a note number 10.
Yeah.
Southampton could switch to suit him, but yeah, he's a note number 10. This is why he's lacking. He's strictly a number 10. You could convert him to a false 9, similar to Firmino, but you'd have to take him to a squad that doesn't really have a striker and let him be the guy sitting in the middle that bounces between the 9 and the striker role, or from the false 9 to the striker role. So I don't know. It's hard. He's strictly number 10.
MK says, don't think Bastoni will leave Italy. Ellie Wood says, Jamie Reid. Do you think we will get another transfer bomb tonight? Fingers crossed, Andrew. Fingers crossed. Good evening, Derek Sarath as well. Hello. Good evening. Big up, guys. Kingsman. Like secured. Thank you very much. Hi. Oh my goodness me. Jamie, you're a ledge. You're an absolute ledge, mate. For doing this. Thank you very much. Kate crashed. 29 likes should be 100. Yes, absolutely. There's still 86 of you in here. Please do remember to hit that like button.
A lot of people don't realise as well, Doug, if they're watching from their phones, when you're looking at the chat, there's an X next to the chat. That doesn't mean that you leave the chat. It just means it closes it down for a second while you hit the like button and then tap the chat button again. It pops back up. A lot of people don't realise that when they're on their phones, and a lot of creators don't realise as well when they're looking on their phone, because we're so used to being on the stream doing it that we're not in chat, that we don't realise to press the X on the chat button on your phone, drops it, hit the like button, back into the chat. It's so quick.
Gary, thank you very much for saying like and subscribe for the second best Scotsman behind Dalglish. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I think Andy Robertson would have something to say about that, Alan Hansen. But yeah. Anyway, they managed to figure out how to keep Dembele healthy, something Barca couldn't do. Camino Pilla, hello. Soccer Belly to Liverpool Cave Explorers Club, like Gakpo. Carl, this is a very good question. And I've been kind of thinking about this for... Where do we seriously think Liverpool will finish this season, and how do you think they're doing the Cups? Right. I will say this now. I don't think the top three changes. I think it's between City and Arsenal for the league. I think we'll get third, and then I think it's a case of between Villa, Tottenham, United, and Newcastle for top four. Do you agree?
I think Villa have a great shout. I think United are going to drop off, regardless of what they're doing. They're just not improving in the right places. And not that I also want them to drop off, but I'm actually... It actually wouldn't surprise me if we surprise ourselves and take on Arsenal a bit. I think they'll improve throughout the season as it goes on, but City, they've dropped Alvarez. They haven't really... I know... don't get me wrong, lads. I know City's capable of scoring like from anywhere, really, if Foden's on fire and all that. But one of these guys gets a knock, they have no Alvarez. What Haaland's notorious for playing 6 to 9 games and then disappearing for 3 or 4 games with an injury. You know, he's notorious. He's got weak ankles. You know, he tends to do that. He twists over on himself and then he has to wait and rest it and ice it. And you know, like what if they start doing the long ball like the couple of seasons? I think City are treading on the water. They're trying to make back money just for what's incoming for them, rather than staying afloat. They're slightly sinking a small bit for me, and they're very much capable of staying in the title race the whole while. But I just think they'll drop off this season. I have some feeling about everybody's going to say City. I think they'll drop off a bit. I think Aston Villa could be a surprise package moving up. They're doing some good signings. West Ham are going to annoy people this season. They've done some great signings. I think
their business is second to none.
But you look at them last season, they were brilliant up until we beat them at Anfield. I was at that game when we beat them at Anfield.
Yeah.
They were up there in third or fourth or something like that. And they were doing well and they just started dropping off. If they can maintain up around there, they'll be going, you know, at least for Europa League next season, I think. I think they can make that next step up. And
was that the 5-1 game?
No, that was I was at every single West Ham game last season, which we leave home and away. And
okay.
So it was 3-1 at Anfield when we beat them the first time around.
Bowen scored for West Ham.
They had the little dive and header thing, yeah. Then it was the 5. The one at Christmas was the cup game, and that was the 5 that we scored, and we demolished them in that game. And then it was the draw away. I was at that one as well at the West Ham. My first time at the West Ham Stadium was last, I don't know, it was April or something like that. April, I think it was. And that was 2-2. Was it 2-2? 3-3? I forget.
And how we're going to do in the cups, Carl? To be honest, I actually think we can go for the Carabao again. FA Cup, I don't think is out of our reach either. You know, I think if we have a squad that we did last season, then I think we can definitely challenge for those cups. Champions League is completely different because you know, I think it's now 8 games now instead of the 6. So there's obviously 2 added on to there. I hope we can go far in the Champions League. I obviously hope we can, but we'll need to wait and see. we'll need to wait and see. But yeah, for me, Carabao Cup, I think we can go for. Might even defend that. FA Cup, go for that one as well. But yeah, I think this season is always going to be a transitional season as well. So yeah, for me, I think the top three won't change, and then I think it is a case between Spurs, Villa, United, and Newcastle. I haven't put Chelsea in there yet, but if they do get Osimhen, like Russell said, they could definitely challenge. They could, but my worry for them is the manager, because he's coming into a completely unknown territory of an owner who looks like he's basically buying things from a candy shop. The way Chelsea are going.
Monopoly, man. Isn't
Monopoly, isn't it?
It's nuts. It's nuts. That he hasn't got a clue what he's like. It's throwing money left. It's a very, like, no offense to anybody who's American in the club, but it's a very American thing to do. Just throw money at it and hope that it fixes it. It doesn't work like that. You need to fundamentally change your club and the mindset of the fans. Because at the moment, the Chelsea fans are very fickle. They expect these signings. And the problem is, because Chelsea are known as kind of like a posh club, if you want to call it that way, because of where they come from and the money, that spending money kind of appeases them a bit, even if they don't do too well in the league. Who cares? We've spent $1 billion on players this transfer window, yay. And that's not a good mindset to have as a club base as well. So
no, definitely not. And I think as well, when you're looking at Chelsea's squad, I think I read they've got like 43 players, and now they're adding Neto. They're adding another goalkeeper, so that's another 2. They're adding another one as well, who they've loaned back. So again, that's 46 players. Provided obviously Gallagher's going to be done, I think is the safest thing to say. But yeah,
how are they going to balance the books today?
I have no idea, but it's another 200 million quid that they've spent.
Gallagher's not worth 300 million. Lukaku, what money are they going to get for him?
I think Gallagher they're getting 35 million for. I think that'll rise up to Lukaku. I think at this point you just offload him. To be perfectly honest, you just offload him because he ain't going to be it. No way.
It makes no sense to me. I think Chelsea are in big trouble in the next couple of seasons.
I think they are.
Same as City are right now. I think they're going to get the same kind of book thrown at them as City. And you have to see it this way, lads. When it comes to the City situation, people are worried about whether they get done or whether are this 115 charges. Let's say City get done for 5 of those charges. That can kick them out of the league. So even if you think of it 115, 5 of those charges getting done could kick them out of the league. That's what I'm saying. So imagine if they do get done for the 115 charges, they're going to be facing lawsuits left, right, and centre from teams that got relegated. Liverpool will probably end up suing them because of losing out on the money that we could have won with the amount of times that we won the league. Then you're taking into account of what happens if the league decides to take it a step further and then decides to strip them of the titles that they did cheat in the seasons they were in. Then the maximum points you could probably deduct in the league is like 16 points. So this is kind of icing on the cake for me as a Liverpool fan. But it's potential that all the other teams that finish second and one team that finished third could end up getting a title. That team that finished third is Arsenal, because if City get done and then Chelsea get done, Arsenal will receive a title in the third position that season. If we don't get our titles that we came second to City in, right, that means I think who else was there? Chelsea get one, but they could lose out. That was the other one they could lose out on. United could get one, but they could lose out in the second one because in the second place they finished over 18 points behind City, which means City can only be docked to 16 points, even if they're kicked out of the league. They keep the title, but that's there's a lot of.
It's a rabbit of a molehill, isn't it? It's just that's going into many things. Diego, hello, hope you're well. If your Liverpool can avoid injuries and gather consistent results, I believe you can push City in the Premier League. We would hope that. There's a bigger lads, hope you're well. Chris says, I won't be sending that Zubi chant if you've seen it. Yes, I have seen it. It is cringe as anything.
Which one?
Oh God. I'm not gonna sing it, but if you think of the theme to Scooby Doo.
Oh, you mean Craig's one that he sang on stream?
Yeah.
Is that, yeah, it's great. Yeah, I seen that. Zubi.
Yeah.
I prefer the what you call it one. Zubi. I prefer
I like
that one. I
that
think
one.
that's actually okay. Yeah.
I like that one.
It's never going to be sung in the cop, lads. Like the lads in the cop know what you're doing. The singers, the songwriters, and as a songwriter myself for a living, the lads in the cop know what they're doing. They're not going to go for the really pop ones. They're going to go for alternate songs, and they're going to go for something that feels right as Liverpool fans to sing. You know, so
Villa, Newcastle, Chelsea, Man United, City, Liverpool, and Arsenal. Maybe West Ham could all be challenging. Everyone needs to start really well this season, 100%. My problem with Chelsea is they have seven goalkeepers on the book. Well, you can count that as 8 now because they have signed another goalkeeper. How can you be that? I never known a team to have 8 goalkeepers.
Still last 4-1 to Liverpool.
Yeah, we've got 4.
Still last the final of the cup. They could have made 5 substitutions, 5 goalkeepers. Couldn't do it.
Yeah, Zubimendi and Shobo would give Alonso, Gerrard, Mascherano vibes. Absolutely. Top 3 has been guaranteed since the end of last season. City, Arsenal, Liverpool in any order. Yes, I absolutely agree with that. Chelsea are trying to do what QPR did. Lukaku and Osimhen. Yeah, absolutely. Chelsea basically classroom full of nursery kids. Spurs will finish higher than 7. Carcass defensively is the problem. Ange doesn't change. He gets found out even more this season. I think that could be once as well. Everyone worked big Ange out after 4. Yeah, it did. They certainly did, Russell. They certainly did. Hello, Luca. Hope you're well. Zubi is the one I like. Not Zubi-Doo. Can't imagine that being sung at Anfield. Lads, I'm going home. Chat again soon. Best wishes to you all. Thank you, Nigel. Yes, we're 50 minutes in, and we actually haven't spoken about the game or the weekend. Liverpool against Sevilla. I think it's safe to say this will probably be our biggest test.
There's 2 games on Sunday.
Las Palmas. Las Palmas as well. Yeah, although that was behind closed doors. So but I am going. A chance
for Verge and all these guys to get and to keep the second squad.
Yeah,
up. That's what that is. The new boy, the guys coming back to get extra fitness in. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, how are you feeling going into that one?
Oh, into the Sevilla game, if I see what I saw in the last couple of games, I'll be fairly happy going forward. I mean, a lot of people complain about Betis build-up play and stuff like that, but and even in times, some people complain about the giving Manchester United some of the possession in the because I think I thought for a 10-minute period Manchester United were the better team, but that was about it for me. But a lot of time we gave them the possession so that we could test our win-back ability. So, you could see Schlatt at the side saying, he was doing 8. And every time he was doing 8, the lads would kind of like just make a long ball, give it to United, and they would come back. And then they would test their possession, whereas United were just testing what they were just going to do for the build-up play going forward. Liverpool were testing how they could defend and counter-attack a team, how they wanted to close them down. So I saw a lot of work being done on the side by Schlatt, and he's a real tactician. And it's like when I was doing the watch along with Jack, and I was watching I was watching Schlatt on the side, and I was watching what he was doing. So I'd keep glancing down like every 3 or 4 seconds to how he was going, what numbers he was using, how he was moving, how he was telling him come across, and then how he was telling him no move, no press, and then and it was good. It was a good thing to watch, man, and it's good to see a manager animated like that on the touchline because in a good way, because it just goes to show that he's passionate about what he wants the team to do, and the lads seem to listen to every word he was saying and take it on board. I'm looking forward to the game on Sunday. I think it's a great test for us against a high caliber opponent in Sevilla. They're probably the kings of Europa League. So it's the best way to test yourself going into a new season.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm excited for it. I'm obviously going to be there. I'm looking forward to it. I think I'm meeting up with a couple of people as well when I'm down there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's just going to be nice to get back to Anfield. I've been wanting to get back to Anfield for ages. I've got the chance this season because I'm going to the Nottingham Forest game on the 14th of September as well. So I've got that chance as well. It's just going to be nice to be.
I'm down a week later.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm there for Bournemouth. I'm there for Bournemouth. Yeah, I am. But a bit of news for you, Doug, because I was waiting on this news for a while. We're going to be playing this, is it Wildfire in Scotland next year with the band?
Wildfire?
Is that the Wildfire Festival? What's it called? Wildfire thing. It's the big
something
one
like that,
near Edinburgh, the big one. the big festival is there. We're playing that with the band next year.
Oh,
so in
fabulous.
2025, so that should be good.
Oh,
that's what I was waiting on. I thought it was going to happen this year, and I thought I was coming off to Edinburgh for that this year. But it's not. It's happening next year, so I'll just have to take a break with the missus and come off to Edinburgh and have a few pints over there with her. But I was waiting to try and line them up together so it'll be a good weekend, but it didn't happen. So it's next year. They contacted us and asked us to play there next year, which is good.
Oh, excellent! Oh, well, I'll need to keep an eye out. But yeah, memorable, notable players for Sevilla.
Okay.
I can't believe I'm saying this. Jesus Navas is still playing.
Yeah. Wing back these days, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think. Oh, he must be mid 30s, late 30s, 40s. I think.
I'll tell you that now.
As well. Andrew Quinn says apparently a private jet is about to settle from John Lennon Airport, Gulf 600. 38.
Yeah.
Wow. Also, people will remember Øyvind Neuland was the keeper who was famous for basically getting the ball over the line. It was a COVID season, which actually stopped Aston Villa from being relegated. That was actually that game. And yeah, he was the goalkeeper that took it over, and obviously goal line technology did not work as well. Also, notable players, Saul Niguez, a long-term target of Liverpool and obviously Premier League clubs. He's obviously there. And yes, Suso. Yes, Suso returned to Anfield. As well. And yes, they do have one, Kelechi Iheanacho. So look, it is going to be a very, very interesting game on Sunday. How do you think they'll line up, Kev? Because I'm kind of thinking of, because obviously with the Las Palmas game, they might hold some players back for that game and then hold some players back for the Sevilla game. So I can't really see too many changes from the Manchester United game.
Yeah, no, I'm hoping. I think you're going to see a couple of the big boys back. It's weird because Sevilla set up with it I think it's like more of a 3-4-3 formation. So we'd have to counter that, and I think the way Slot plays is going to best that. I think you're going to have to pack the midfield a bit just to get kind of, you need to put pressure on the likes of Sergio Ramos and all of these kind of guys, So if is he still there even? Sergio Ramos, is he still there this season?
No, he got released. He got released.
Okay, so he's not there. Okay, never mind then. So whoever's there is fairly bad days there, I know, and But if you put the pressure on him in the middle of the park, which I think we can, I think our formation kind of alternates between a 4-3-3 to an alternate 4-2-3-1 to a 3-box-3 at times, So I think the lads are capable of making the underlapping runs, and those underlapping, it's all about splitting that 3-man backline or tucking them in. If you squish them in and just allow Darwin to keep getting into the box with passes Elias, Salah and whoever's on the left is going to have a field there, along with if Trent even gets a run out or Conor Bradley or any of these guys. These guys making the underlaps and all that are going to have a field there all day long. If if we can tuck them, if we can squeeze them in. If we split them, Darwin's going to get chance after chance from early balls from Trent and is Macca even back? I don't even know if Macca's back.
Macca's back, yeah. Macca returned for the, I think it was Man United game. I don't think he came on. I think he came on.
He was at the sideline. Yeah. I don't even know I didn't know if he was coming, if he was back yet, but he's surely back for Sunday because that's an extra week that he's had sitting inside. Yeah. Look, we've great opportunities here to really test ourselves against this team, and then rotate that team against Las Palmas. Which game is first? This is the one I didn't check.
Sevilla.
Okay, so you just play that out and out, and then you give like a cool down session to Las Palmas.
Well, really, I think Allison and Diaz only returned today, so I don't think you'll see them.
We see it for Las Palmas.
Yeah. I can only really think we might maybe see Kanate. I think we might see Robertson. I saw was back in training. He looks to be all right for next week, which is big news as well. But then again, Slot might start Simicast. You just don't know. It's going to be very interesting for sure. I'm just sure it's going to Spain for Zubimendi. Fingers crossed. If we get Zubimendi and Mamadashvili, yeah, that's the other one. That's the other one I wanted to speak about. Mamadashvili, now, what do you make of that? Because let me just say, he was excellent at the Euros. I don't know if you've seen any of the Euros, but when he plays for Georgia, he's a really, really good goalkeeper.
He's one that you would like to have coming in for Ali if Ali was to ever leave. So if you can buy him now and do it's a really weird one to say that you're going to buy him and bring him in, and he's not going to be on the bench because he is a high quality goalkeeper. So if you're saying that you can buy him now and loan him back out, and he's open to that, like he said, maybe like giving him Premier League experience in Bournemouth or something like that. That's what the talk is about anyway. And 100%, why not? So I think it'd be a fantastic move for us. I think it assures our future. It doesn't put as much pressure on Ali to need to think that he could stay a longer time. I still think, because he's a goalkeeper, Ali's got a good shelf life. I think he can stay for the next 6 years at Liverpool, no problem, at the highest level, without dropping off, really. Yeah. Goalkeepers tend to play longer. A lot of the best goalkeepers in the world, when they look after themselves, they stay into their 40s playing. I look at Gomez and Barthez and Buffon and Neuer. How old is Neuer now? Neuer must be late 30s, early 40s, isn't he?
39, I think.
Yeah, and he's still playing at the top level. And, it's only when natural water weight and body fat that can't be broken down anymore because of natural aging, that's what starts to slow down a player. It's not, getting old or whatever like that. These guys look after themselves to the highest degree. So if they train harder and they can still perform on the pitch, they can play well into their early 40s. So I think there's a potential for Ali to extend his deal, stay for another 3 or 4 years, and then maybe look at Spain if he wanted to, and then end up in the, even at 39, he could end up in the Saudi leagues and make his, 60, 70 million into his pocket for 2 seasons playing there, So it's easily done, I think. So hopefully, we'll see.
I'm a big fan of Mamadashvili. I don't watch a lot of obviously La Liga. Well, I used to when it was obviously on Sky, but obviously it's now on another channel. But I know Valencia have struggled, but a shining light in their team. And I was quite shocked to learn he's only 23. He's got bags and bags. He's got loads of years left in him as Mamadashvili. And already he's shown on the big stage, especially the Euros, that you can do well. Look, Georgia did really, really well to get through the group stage when nobody gave them a hope. They managed to get through that the third place. Yes, they were obviously beaten in the end by a very, very comfortable Spain side, but I think it's a very, very good option to go down, and it might mean maybe Kelleher maybe leaves. Look, nothing's happened yet, but I think if you were hearing obviously from the Irish manager saying that probably he thinks Kelleher should leave. We even got Yarsh to step up as well. But I think in terms of the Sevilla game, I don't think there'd be too much changes. I don't think there'd be too much changes. I think you might see Kelleher, Bradley, Kanai, Kwanzaa, Simicast. Does Maka? Do you get Maka? Maka.
That's what I'm thinking. So I've changed it here a bit. I actually did. Well, I'm on This Is Anfield for the lineup maker. So I don't know if I can share it, and I can probably show you the team that I would possibly think would be ready for it. Sure, if that's okay. Because I'll share it away. So I did. Sorry, where am I here? Here we are. So I can zoom in on this a bit, maybe. No.
Just wait for it to come up.
I'll share it now. Share screen. There we go. And shout out to This Is Anfield for allowing us their open source lineup maker. So there we go.
Oh, here we go. Right. At the stage. Here we are.
So I'm thinking if you're going for if not unless Robbo is ready or Trent is ready to come in, but I think that could be a team that starts. Well, maybe if we switch this one in and out with Jota, maybe. That could be a team that starts if you're going to get Gakpo in early. If not, there's a potential for Carvalho to start again, which he probably deserves. Yep. Maka might get some minutes. Sabasli, because he was rested the last game for just fatigue, really. And if he's ready to come back in, he could play the number 6 role. Elliott, Maka there. If Maka is not available, obviously we have Jones or Gravenberch to come in. More than likely Jones to start and Gravenberch to play later. But I think he was impressed with Gravenberch the last day. Was Slot, so you might see where is he? You might see there he is. You might see Gravenberch come in.
Gravenberch, yeah.
Play, you're going to have that in this role. You're going to him drop him back, and Harvey will just have a free roam around here. Salah will always tuck out. Conor Bradley will make these underlapping runs up inside, and it's not often you see him go outside him. Trent will go outside him more if he's on the pitch. But I think Conor, he likes to, Harvey moves in here to create space and Carvalho tucks inside, Gravenberch moving up here. Salah will look for the 1-2 off of here, allow Conor Bradley to run in here. He'll play it to Elliott into Bradley as he's making a run through. There'll be a lot of underlapping runs there. So there's potential here for the game to play. Wataru to come on later. You can see more of a standard team. It might change, and you might see a completely different lineup for the Las Palmas game. Obviously, with Allison coming back, is Robbo injured? Is he okay?
He's back in training. I don't think he'll be risked though on Sunday. I'd be surprised to see him. If we're being honest, I think it probably will be cost us.
So if anything, Verge will be back. As he's back in the side, so
he can get Virgil's had a full weeks of training, so I would expect probably him to maybe be back.
Trent to probably have the same, if we're thinking that. So so look, there's a potential of having a fairly strong lineup here. It depends on Quansah, who got a lot of game time in pre-season, and Kanate. You might want to give Kanate a run over that Las Palmas game, so you might see more likely that for the Las Palmas game.
Yeah.
But it won't be Simicast. It could be. Becca's gone out on loan. Joe Gomez might even get a run in there at left back for the Las Palmas game, because he's only just back as well. So the weaker team will be the bigger test for the better players, because it just needs to catch him up to speed. So you might see him play 20 minutes of the first game, and then they might start the second game. There's a potential in there. I'd like to be able to see Darwin get a run out finally in pre-season, and to see Gakpo or Diaz come back in there. There's a potential for Diaz to even play. Where am I? Where are you, Diaz? He's not there, is he? So he's gone out now, so I'll have to change him with him. So you might see Diaz here, and you might see Gakpo. So
many options, isn't it? There's loads of headaches.
Great choices. There's so many options out there, and now we've got, but the high quality caliber players out of all of them. So even the drop off to a player who's less than another one is still better than most at other squad levels. So, look, I still think we need somebody down in this side for a left-sided left back that can play centre back. If you look at I think we were only talking about it in our channel to K-Mac the other day. K-Mac did a show as well himself, and his one where he was talking about the same thing, and we're both in agreement, me and him, that we both need a left-hand-sided defence a centre back that can play left back and centre back. So your Ignacio's, your David Hanco's, your Bastoni's, your Hincapes, all of these. Also, with a David Hanco as a utility player, if you wanted to top off, he's very cheap. He could come in and play a DM role to cover Zubimendi as well. So he's like a utility player going around. So, which is great. And I've been raving about him. I've been raving about Hanco and Fofana for the last about 3 or 4 years. So you can go back 4 years ago and watch the shows, lads. I've been talking about them since then. They've been brilliant. And but like they're perfect utility players. They're 2 James Milners in their own right. So but look, there's the potential for these games, anyway, Doug. So there's potential. Salah will always start in the right because we have nobody to replace him, which I do think we need to start doing. We need to start bringing in potential, a Bakayoko or something like that to come in, play on the bench and play these cup games, get a run out, and give Salah a rest. Salah wants to play as many games and beat the record as he wants. Then pick and choose, bring him into a game where he's fresh and give him 2 goals a game. If you only play, in some games, and then start him in other games and do whatever. He's still capable of playing every game, don't get me wrong. But protect him so we can elongate his career and get the most out of his goal talents.
Yeah, and as let me just get that off screen. So thank you very much for that.
Yeah,
as I was saying, as well, because Salah can definitely play every single game. It's a bit like the Rodri situation with obviously City. Like, he can play every single game for City, but like he's burning out.
He's burnt out right now. He is.
Looks like it.
He looks tired. So. He looks like he's aged. He looks like he's aged 7 years in a year. He looks tired. I'm telling you, and I don't mean that in a bad way. He looks drained.
Yeah. If we get Zubimendi, Yes. If we get Zubimendi and Marmadashvili transfer bumps tonight, it would be absolutely insane. Liverpool should look at Baina as a winner as well.
Baina, I'll have a look.
Baina.
Baina. Let me have a look there now.
Not sure who that is. Andrew says, do you see Zubimendi transfer happening? Hopefully. I'm not worried about the situation, but this could be a game changer. So yeah, of course it would. I remember when we got Akolani. I think everyone does.
Yeah, which Baina does Russell want? Does he want Raul, Alex, or Jose?
Yeah, let me know in the chat, Russell, because Andrew's asked the question to you, Kev. Do you think Kevin Feige will make a Ghost Rider announcement tonight and reveal who's playing him?
Oh, I don't know, dude. I really don't. I think he should, if he's going to be entering him into the Marvel universe. Sorry, this is a Marvel thing for Andrew. And also, Andrew, with that plane thing that you were talking about earlier, Zubimendi is not in he's not in Spain. He's in Berlin.
He's in Germany, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in Germany at the moment. Yeah.
He's in Union Berlin. Yeah. We'll wait and see. Gary says Liverpool versus Sevilla 1-0 Nunes. So he's going for a Nunes winner. But the thing is with pre-season, we've been 1-0 against Betis, 2-1 against Arsenal, 3-0 against Manchester United. It could be somewhere in between.
If there's I've got stats there. Sorry for. I think it's Alex Bain he's on, because that's the better of the three, and he's got some phenomenal stats for a forward.
Right.
Winger. Yeah. So he's an out-and-out winger.
Excellent.
So if I can share it there for you guys. So we can look. This is Alex Bain, who plays with Villarreal, if I'm thinking this right. That's what he's on about. That's the player I thought it was first, but I just wanted to be sure. So here we are. So you're talking about stat-wise, if you're going by the FBref, these 98 to 99 percentiles are phenomenal, considering that he's played almost 3,000 minutes. There. So if you're talking about replacing Salah with a winger, also, when you think of it here, he's only 23 years of age, he's a Spanish national, and he's on less than 40,000 euros a week. So you could double it, you could triple his wages, put him on 90k a week coming to England, put him on a 6-year contract, and build him to be a replacement to Salah. It's a good option. It's a very good option, Russell. That's a definite for me. And if you're going by the stats alone, and this is his midfield stats as well. You're talking about touches, progressive passes, 97 percentile, progressive carries, 94. Not much of a defensive outfit, but you don't need him to be if he's a right winger. You really don't. You just need him to cover. He will learn that at Liverpool. So you'll probably see this stat kind of go down a bit to 97 to 98 percentile, and you'll see this one up here come up right up to 60 odd to 70 odd. In the way Slot will teach. So yeah.
Gary, I can categorically say there is no chance on earth that Liverpool are going to go for Frenkie de Jong, because apparently his wages are something in the region of 722,000 a week.
722,000 euros a week. That's not happening.
No chance. Not happening.
Ever.
We're never getting him.
We're not Manchester United. we won't pay 700k to one player a week, so he could just come in and. No, he's a phenomenal player. He's probably one of the best in the middle. I think he's wasted at Barcelona. I think he needs to be in the Premier League. But I think so. But yeah, there's no chance we get him. Hopefully, he thinks in his mindset that Barcelona was his Saudi league money making kind of thing, and then he'd drop his wages right down and come to the Premier League to a team that could. But us preferably, but not if we're going for Zubimendi. So hopefully he doesn't, because then United will be in for him and all these other teams will be in for him. So
yes,
hopefully he's greedy.
Yes, absolutely. But Kev, thank you very much for joining me this evening. I really do appreciate it. It's been a pleasure to have you back on. And we won't make it. We'll definitely make it a lot more to happen this year, because
absolutely.
It has been a while. But tell the people where they can find you.
Right. You can find me on anything to do with football related stuff, you'll find me at Spider LFC almost everywhere. I am looking for people to try and get me to 1,000 followers on TikTok, lads, so I can do lives on TikTok. And if I get live on TikTok, I'll probably go live every 3 hours on there, just chatting to people, talking about latest news, stuff like that. It's a lot easier. I can do double lives on YouTube Shorts and things. So I'd appreciate anybody following me on TikTok just for that alone. But everywhere else, I'm trying to reach 1,000 followers on YouTube. I'm at, I don't know what I'm at now, about nearly 600 or something like that, right there. And on Facebook, I do have a few thousand followers on Facebook, but Facebook doesn't really count half the time. It's nice. It's a nice top up on the account, but it doesn't really do anything for you. In that kind of right, I can have 4,000 or 5,000 followers there all I want, but it needs to be more interactive, like YouTube and all the rest of the places. But that's where you'll find me there. And I do a lot of gaming stuff as well. So you'll find me at Irish Spider Guy on YouTube and Twitch. I do a lot of horrors, social deduction games. I used to be number 1 in the world going back to 2007 in Call of Duty for a long time. So every so often I pop back onto these. I play PUBG a lot. So a lot of these kind of games if you're into that kind of stuff. And you'll find me at Irish Spider Guy on YouTube and Twitch in these places. And you'll find me at Spider on Facebook.
Absolutely. Go and check him out. I'll read the last couple of comments as well. Well did. Feels like an age since I last saw you in the chat. Hope you're well. Hope you're doing well. Diego says, does your slot style of play make the opposing teams play with wide players, or does it make them try to play through your midfield?
Does slot style of play make the opposing team play with wide players, or does it make them try? I think they try to tuck in on. So it all depends on the formation, really. If they're going basic 4-4-2, they'll always try and go wide. They'll never try and go through the middle. They'll have to pack the midfield to counter slots style of football. They'll also have to risk us being able to bypass, because if we do go back, if you're going to find that the defence is going to tuck up to our guys in the midfield box, we can just tuck it back a bit and bypass their press, which United found out the other night. This is why Slot was testing it. It's all about getting the right balance within the team and playing your opponent. Now, the fact that we've got Slot in, I love Klopp. Klopp is one of the greatest managers to go down in history and the whole lot, but he didn't have the ability to change within multiple formations, or he didn't teach the lads multiple formations, because he had a mindset that this one or two slightly adjusted formation would work. But for me, it's the ability to change between 2 or 3 formations in a game that can see above the rest about winning, seeing out games, defending it right, stuff like that. So to say that the teams are going to have to adapt to us, because we will change. We can now change instantly on the spot to how we adapt to teams as well. Even when you see them getting more possession, we tend to tuck in more. We tend to block off more. We tend to use the lower block a bit better when we need to. And then we can do transition football from back to front really, really quickly if we have to, know against these pressurizing teams, things that we weren't able to do before. So if you do have your kind of Bradleys and stuff, just being able to keep the weight out there, and to also tuck in inverted when we're going forward. Look, we're 4-3-3 in the balance, and that can alternate between a 4-3-3, a 3-box-3, and a 4-2-3-1 in how we play. It'll just naturally do that based on the feeling of the players, and when they see the space, they will just do that. But on defence, we're kind of strictly 4-4-2 to 5-3-2 as we drop, or 5-3-1-1 as we drop back. So we have a good ability to be flexible now.
A lot to be excited for. Especially as well. And obviously, Diego, Palace. I think you've got a lot to be excited for, because I think Palace are one of the teams to watch next season. If you get Zaha back, you've got Zaha, Eze, Sarr, who we've been linked with for years and years. I remember when he was up there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, good.
Went to Marseille. He's now been bought for 50 million quid. So yeah, he's another one that we were linked with, and now he's a Palace. And if you keep Guehi, you're really in for a very, very good season for sure. Wildad says, long time no see, Kev. I didn't recognise you last time. My picks change was still me. Always around hitting likes, watching, bro. Thank you, Wildad. I appreciate that. Hello, Uncle Rods. As well, looking forward to the season being around more. Wildad's asking, is Steve still online? Stephen Stubbs, I can tell you, is not active anymore. I think he did a video I think it was a while back. He said that he just couldn't be able to do it anymore. I think work commitments. I think he was working something around 45 hours a week or something. So he just decided enough's enough, and yeah, he just deactivated his channel. I still speak to Steve, but yeah, he. I'll try and get him on for shows, but yeah, it's unfortunately he's decided to just call it a day. Call it a day, basically. But Stephen, if you're watching, I know you're probably not, 'cause I know you're on holiday with your lovely wife Haley, and yeah, I hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Out Shane, great guy. Yes, well done. But yes, as I said, please go and check out Spider's channels. I have left them in the description as well, so please go over and check that out as well. And also, I will also leave the Kit Men. I've been meaning to leave that as well.
I never said that. So the Kitman is more of it's an all-round show, lad. So that's about more sports. But when we're doing the Kitman and when we fully started up, we're just trying to get the right people on board. So it is involving me and Jack from the Liverpool side of things. So when we do exclusively Liverpool shows on there, obviously we'll have Doug on, obviously we'll have the other Liverpool boys on. But mainly we're trying to get it around, me and Jack as Liverpool fans, United fan, City fan, Arsenal fan, and just kind of keep it more fair. Along that board, and if like Jack is not available, I get Doug in to be a host, or if Doug's not available, or we'll try and alternate as much as we can to get different types of Liverpool fans on there. We just can't have a boatload of Liverpool fans on at the same time when it comes to football stuff. But the other things are all there. We're going to be covering wrestling, UFC, boxing, Formula One. We're going to be doing all shows and that kind of stuff. So the Kitman is more of a network that we're going to embody everybody into, and just hopefully take it off from there and see how it goes. But it's almost, we're just getting kind of graphics and stuff done for it, and I've been trying to launch it for about 2 years now, because I had another guy that was doing it with me, but he's a comedian and he had a lot of commitments just come up, because he does really well in comedy, so he had to go and do that, so I had to kind of put it on the shelf for like a couple of years, but it's okay now. We're trying to get it going this season.
Yeah, no worries. Great to see you, bro. Keep safe, and hope you enjoy this. Yeah, hope I'll see you around more. Well, Dad, it's good to see you as well. And then Diego saying evening to Anfield, Uncle Rod's as well. I've been covering UK news last 3 months. So busy. There you go. Then there you go. Busy man.
I see. I understand Wolf, because I didn't understand who he was. I didn't recognize him the other day, because it's in Jack Chan, but Jack didn't recognize him either. We think he changed his name or something. I didn't see him in a while, so we didn't have a clue.
I think he maybe changed his profile pic, I think.
Okay. I remember the name Wolf. We didn't realize it was Wild Dead Road. Maybe we were just calling him Wolf all the time. I don't know. That was my only thing. So apologies, Wolf, dude.
Maybe anyway. But yeah, no, thank you very much for everyone who's watched tonight. Yeah, we've had an insane number of people come in. Obviously, a big thank you to Jamie Phillips for the raid. I don't know you could raid, so that's
you can. Yeah, it's a new thing on YouTube the last 6 to 8 months or something like that, I think. Yeah.
Oh, excellent. As well. But yeah, I'm going to be there at Anfield on Sunday, so I'm really looking forward to that. Obviously, weather permitting, there may be a video, maybe inside Anfield, maybe outside Anfield. Who knows? But yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, the Reds are coming back very, very soon, and it's only 7 days now until the new Premier League season starts. Which is mad. I know. I can't wait. Let's get excited. But
I don't have to talk to my family anymore. I don't have to talk to friends anymore. I can just talk about football all day. Who? What? No. Jokes.
jokes. Absolutely. Right. I'll see you. Me and Kev will see you very, very soon. You never. Well, go on. Cheers, Reds.